Massachusetts reported to the census that they owned slaves. Bet now called herself Elizabeth Freeman. She worked for about 20 years as a paid housekeeper for Theodore Sedgwick, who went on to become Speaker of the U.S. House. It wasn't until she was in her 60s that Freeman moved to her own property with her family. Elizabeth Freeman is buried here in the inner circle of the Sedgwick family plot. For NPR News, I'm Nancy Cohen in Stockbridge, Massachusetts.
You're listening to All Things Considered from NPR News.
Support for NPR comes from this station and from the estate of Joan V. Kroc, whose bequest serves as an enduring investment in the future of public radio and seeks to help NPR produce programming that meets the highest standards of public service in journalism and cultural expression. From ProQuest, whose ProQuest One Literature is a single destination for literary research, teaching, and learning, with a focus on diversity. ProQuest.com/go/NPR. From the Doris Duke Charitable Foundation, whose Sickle Cell Disease Advancing Cures program supports cutting-edge research to cure sickle cell disease. Learn more at ddcf.org. And from the listeners who support this NPR station.
Thanks for tuning in to WBEZ HD Chicago, WBEQ HD Morris, and WBEK Kankakee. We're broadcasting from Chicago's Navy Pier. Full hour of news on All Things Considered, Super Tuesday and What to Watch. As some of the polls will start closing in the next hour, we'll bring you live results starting tonight at 7. A conversation with Hillary Clinton about a new documentary about her career. We'll get a coronavirus update, and we'll check in with Bernie Sanders' campaign. Plus, we'll look at what's left in Tennessee after deadly tornadoes left 22 people dead. Traffic-wise, heavy northbound delays on Lakeshore Drive from Roosevelt to Chicago. Southbound backs up before North Avenue to Chicago and 47th to Marquette. Inbound night jam from Wolf to Austin and California to downtown.
WBEZ Traffic is supported by Court Theater, presenting Ibsen's The Lady from the Sea. A stranger arrives in town and a woman must choose between her marriage and the allure of the sea. Previews begin March 12th. More at courttheater.org.
It's 6 o'clock.
Bernie Sanders, his emphasis on eliminating student debt for people going to college.
Joe Biden, he is a little less to the left.
On the biggest day on the Democrats' primary calendar, voters in Texas, California, and beyond weigh in on their choices for president.
It's Super Tuesday, March 3rd, and this is All Things Considered.
I'm Mary Louise Kelly.
And I'm Ari Shapiro. This hour, what to watch for with 14 states voting and more than 1,300 Democratic delegates on the line today.
Also, we asked Hillary Clinton about the number of Democrats still running.
We're having a contested, vigorous primary. We started off with about 21 candidates. We're down to the number we have now. That's the way it is supposed to work.
Plus the storms and tornado that roared across Tennessee overnight.
By the time that warning went off, we had minutes.
And the latest on the coronavirus as the death toll worldwide continues to rise.
First, the newscast.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Jack Speer. Voters are casting their ballots for the presidential primary election in 14 states and 1 territory today. Polls have just closed in Vermont and Virginia. The Associated Press is predicting Joe Biden as the winner in Virginia. Meanwhile, as Damon Mitchell reports from member station WPLN, some voters in Tennessee say they are still undecided as they head to the polls where voting hours have been extended due to overnight tornadoes that claimed at least 25 lives.
At Pearl Coon High School in North Nashville, voters packed the gym and pledged their support for candidates like Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. They say the issues motivating them include supporting the country's middle class and having an ambitious health care plan. But Chase Harriman says he hasn't been convinced by any of the presidential hopefuls.
No, frankly, I'm disappointed in all the choices.
Harriman hesitantly cast a Super Tuesday vote for Vice President Joe Biden. Tennessee has 64 delegates up for grabs. For NPR News, I'm Damon Mitchell in Nashville.
Voters in North Carolina are also heading to the polls at this hour. North Carolina has the third largest number of delegates up for grabs after Texas and California. Jeff Tabiri of member station WUNC has more from Raleigh on the issue on the ballot there.
North Carolina is the only state in the country that is a presidential swing state with a competitive U.S. Senate race as well as a governor's race. Some political scientists and some strategists have actually called it ground zero for the 2020 election.